What
There
up,
it
gang?
is. What's up, shitheads?
You
We're back
know,
again.
just hanging out, having a
Yep.
good time.
We are 10 weeks in with this season now and only
Man,
have 4 weeks left in the regular season before we hit the playoffs.
time sure
Wow.
does fly when your team's not very fucking good.
Hey, you're in the playoffs right now, though.
I am, though, that's right, but I'm probably about to get knocked out again this week.
You jumped up from 7th to 4th in
Yeah,
the
it's true.
standings. So
That's wild.
knocked Jet out. So it's getting pretty crazy. And even though Hayden's not mathematically eliminated, um, he's 6 games out of 6th place with 8 games left total. So not looking pretty.
Yeah, I think that's a
And I
Yeah.
have officially clinched a playoff spot
I
mathematically.
have a playoff spot. Fuck you.
And I was
How
telling
did
Chase
I-
this. What?
How did I jump from fucking 7th to 4th?
So you were just outside the playoffs based off the tiebreaker last week. With
Yes.
a bunch of people tied at 9-9.
because you were
And then
basically
you-
tied at 6.
Yeah, you went 2-0. Jed
Yeah.
went 0-2. Grant Robinson went 2-0, and then Tyler and Wendell both went 0-2.
Okay,
So you had all the pieces fall into the right order.
great.
Yep.
Let's hope that whatever whatever needs to happen for me to stay in this week. Oh, I need Jed to lose to Grant Collins for sure. I think that's who's
Well,
playing.
really, for you to stay in the playoffs, all you need is Jed to lose one of the two, either the median or
Yeah.
the matchup, and you're still ahead of him. And actually, as long as your potential is more than 40 points ahead of him, you could go 0-2 and he could go 2-0, and you would still be
Be
ahead
ahead
of him.
of him.
So it's mathematically possible for you to go 0-2 and him to go 2-0, and you still be in there.
Yeah.
In there like swimwear.
This was a weird week. It was our third lowest median of the season at 128.45. And then our potential median was by far the lowest by 10 points at 135.39.
Hmm.
So the median on potential points would have been Grant Robinson would have been last at 138.18 to make it, and Tyler would have been sixth at 132.6 to miss.
I didn't really feel like it was that low scoring of a week.
Yeah.
No, of course not. With 162 points, you wouldn't think that.
Well, and when you have 55 by one player.
I guess
Yeah.
that's probably why. I bet then
Yeah.
again, that should show you or tell you why it was low scoring. I got 55 with one player and only managed to score 110 points. More, not even that, 107.
Yeah,
with
you
all
should have
the
scored
remainder.
a hell of a lot more. But
Yeah.
the crazy thing about that is, you could have gotten rid of Jamar Chase and still beaten Wendell this week because he only had 92 points.
I wasn't playing Wendell, right?
No, you weren't. But
Okay. I was like, I'm pretty sure my matchup was a little closer than that, but
yeah. Well, you played Jed. We'll just jump into this. You played Jed and beat him 162.68 to 111.54. So without Jamar Chase, you would have lost to him by 4 points.
yeah, well, I got the worst of Jed that week. I think we were talking about last week on the podcast. He scored like 2 top scores of the week, but then he's like not scored 100 points in like 2 other weeks. So he's definitely on both ends of the spectrum.
Sweet Pea is the one that's got 2 top scoring of the week of the 2 top scoring weeks of the year.
I was sniffing at Trey at the end of there.
I was scared.
Trey got it this week for his first one of the year at 164.12. But Tyreek Hill tried to chase down Trey there, but he didn't get it.
Tyreek.
With his torn ligament in his wrist and then a failed touchdown celebration with Odell.
Yeah, that was the weirdest celebration.
It was choreographed. It was supposed to be some like wrestling move or something, and Odell apparently hit him harder, so that's why he fell down harder than what he was supposed to.
That's so funny.
And apparently there was a rumor that Tyreek could miss practice this week because of it.
Oh my god.
Damn.
Yeah, it probably didn't feel good on the wrist.
That's
Yeah, I
soft,
don't know
bro.
if he practiced or not this week, but so Trey beat Grant Collins 164.12 to 133.3. I beat Tyler 140.5 to 123.6. Sweet Pea beat Wendell 117.52 to 91.94, and then Grant Robinson beat Hayden 133.68 to 114.34. So, standing wise, I'm 19-1. Chase is 14-6. Grant Robinson and Trey are 11-9. Tyler and Wendell 10-10. Jed 9-11. Sweet Pea, Grant Collins 6-14. Hayden 4-16. And I always like to look at how different our league would be if we didn't have the median and if we went based off potential points. So without the median, which I wish Tyler was here for this, but I already texted him about it. Without the median, if we just went on games, Tyler would actually be the one out of the playoffs of the top 7. He would be 4-6, but I'd be 9-1, Chase 7-3, Grant R 6-4, Jed, Trey, and Wendell all 5-5. Tyler
Jeez.
4-6, and then Grant, Sweet Pea, and Hayden 3-7 with no median.
Well, luckily we have that median.
Mm-hmm. And then with potential points, Wendell would be well out of the playoffs, and Sweet Pea would be in the playoffs if our matchups went based off potential points.
Hey, man, you know what's funny? This is not really related to fantasy football, but me and you are the only 2 people that call him Sweet Pea. No
Are
one
we
else.
really?
Yeah. No one else.
And the only
calls
reason
him
why
that.
I do it is because I just heard you calling him that, so
Yeah.
I just picked up on it.
I go to his house and I'm the only person that calls him that. And sometimes people look at me fucking funny, and I'm like,
Oh.
y'all didn't work with this motherfucker like I did, so y'all don't know the nicknames and shit.
You don't know him
That's
like
how
I
his
know
pee
him.
tastes?
What?
What?
What'd you say?
Is it because that's how his pee tastes?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Ha 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 ha.
I thought so.
You're stupid.
Says the guy who drinks other men's pee.
To begin with, but okay.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, Commish.
I've been trying for the last 6 minutes to get on here, and I was on, I guess, the wrong link. I have no idea.
Oh, nice.
Of
Well, at
course
least you're here now. I was
What
just
I
talking
missed.
about how if we had no median, you'd be out of the playoffs.
I was hoping to miss that part.
I mean, technically you did, but I just brought it back up.
What would my record be without the median? Like
4-6.
10? 4-6. Yeet.
One other thing that I put together here, I did our average points against per game, and looked at the difference between what we're actually scoring versus the average. Jed is averaging being ahead by 1.89 points a game. His average point per game are 131.07, and average points against is 129.18, which is pretty crazy how tight
The
that
games
is.
are really close, yeah.
And then Tyler's second with 2.16 difference. Average points per game 136.55 and 134.39 against.
My team sucks. I should have sold out for the future, like Trey did, and then be in second place or whatever he's in.
Yeah, Trey went from 7th to 4th.
He'd look great if he had like a really good tight end, like I don't know, Brock Bowers.
I have a really great tight end, Evan Ingram. Okay, so
Yeah, you have Mac Jones throwing it to him.
Yeah, Mac fucking Jones.
I was even hopeful. I
Mac
was like, oh, surely he's not that bad.
He's bad.
He's that bad.
So this week I'm playing Trey. Chase has Sweet Pea. Jed plays Grant Collins, Grant Robinson, and Wendell, and then Tyler and Hayden. So Tyler's got the easy matchup of the week.
Have you seen
saying
my
that.
team though? There's no such thing as an easy matchup when you have Devontae Adams and Brees Hall and the likes of Tony Pollard and Ramondre.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's frustrating. So frustrating.
I can't decide which matchup's going to be better. According to projection, Jed is only projected to beat Grant by 2. But between that one and then Chase and Sweet Pea is going to be a good matchup.
My gosh, yeah. I mean, I guess I understand why his team has struggles because he had Christian McCaffrey.
Mhm.
He's just now finally being able to put him in his lineup. But holy smokes, the rest of his team is like not bad. His bench is absolutely atrocious, which is probably why he's been struggling during the bye weeks. But I mean,
Mhm.
like D-Hop now with Kansas City's doing really well. I thought Devontae Smith would have done a lot better this year.
He's been
Definitely,
injured off and
He's
on,
been injured a
hasn't he?
couple times, though, I think.
yeah, still disappointing. Garrett Wilson, he's definitely been turning it up as of recently. Mark Andrews, especially with Isaiah
Mhm.
Likely out, has been kicking ass. Jaden Reed is probably the only player of the wide receivers there that's decently consistent. Starting 2 Charger wide receivers seems like a
Bold
long
move.
shot, but I mean, Quentin Johnston has been giving him touchdowns every week, and then Ladd McConkey is catching about 8 or 9 passes. So yeah, I mean, ultimately his team, and then hell, when he gets Mike Evans back,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know he's 6-14. I don't know if he's going to get to the playoffs, but yeah, he had a pretty decent team by the end of the year.
It'll be too
He's the
late.
one to watch. He could try to sneak up. It's good. I mean, he would have to have a couple people struggle for him to make it because he's 3 back of Jed and 4 back of Wendell for the final playoff spot. So
How do our playoff spots work? By the way, is it 3 out of the top, 3 out of the bottom, or is it?
no, it's the top 1 out of each division, and then it's the next 4 teams, regardless of which division they're in.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's your division winners or your top 2 seeds.
Yeah.
Then, like, if literally all of what's the name of our divisions? Is it not even North and South? It's East and West.
East and
Okay.
West, yeah. So right now we've got 4 of the 5 out of the East, which is me, Grant, Tyler, and Wendell. Hayden's the only one out, and then in the other division, it's only Chase and Trey.
Let's bring up the West, Trey. Let's do
Yeah.
it.
We gotta hold it down. Down for the West.
Yeah.
Tell you, this is 2 years in a row that selling your team early has helped. Last year it was Will. This year it's
Yeah.
Trey. Will, did
Yeah.
you get a package from old Buppy?
From who?
From Brad?
Oh yeah. I totally had these sitting over here to put on, and I didn't.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
I'm hoping that'll change the aura of the league, and it'll change the trajectory. You're
Okay.
19-0 or whatever, and it's
So, and I told Chase this last night. I went back through and looked at history on Sleeper. I don't have history of when we were on NFL before, but the league record for wins in a regular season is 22.
yeah, until this year.
Yeah.
I think
That's
what's
the hope.
frustrating about that is like my win-loss percentage just when we moved to Sleeper is not good, but like the 3 years before is when I won my championships. So they're not on. So mine's terrible.
Well, the first year we were on Sleeper, you went like 3-17 or something.
Yeah, I had a terrible year. It was the worst year. But all of my victories, like all of my, not all of them. I think 2 of the 3. It just gets so hard to keep up when you have so many.
And I'm only 4 games behind Chase right now in the all-time wins, and then Trey is 6 behind me. Which it's also crazy. We only have 4 people with a winning record of our Sleeper history.
That makes no sense.
I mean, mine's like one of the somehow I'm in 5th if you look at the history.
Yeah,
that doesn't make sense to me.
Since you're looking at it, you can not answer this, but who do Trey and Chase? Who do y'all think has the most transactions in the league all time since we've been on Sleeper? I think that includes free agent pickups and trades.
I feel like this is a really easy one.
Oh.
I mean, I've definitely done the most trades.
Is it Crowley? Because he may be watching this. It would be him.
But he's not-
Crowley.
League. That would actually be impressive for him to still hold that record.
It wouldn't surprise me though. I was gonna say Hayden because he makes a lot of transactions in the offseason.
Nope. Hayden is in the middle of the pack at 148 transactions. Sweet Pea is last with 50. This
Which is
person has,
insane.
this person has multiplied that by a plenty.
Plenty. I'm curious.
Like over 100 of the second place.
Oh, I'm gonna scroll up here.
Where do you even see that?
So
League
if you're on your phone, if you click on the settings button and then you scroll down, it says league history,
Okay, I'm not gonna
And
look. I'm gonna.
and then
I'm
you can
I'm
see
gonna
it.
Chase.
Chase is third with 224.
Damn. Is it Tyler?
Tyler is first with 375 transactions. Jed is second with 245.
The turnover is real.
Yeah.
Listen, you got to do what you got to do. Whenever you have people like Kadarius Toney and Trey Lance, you got to make some moves.
Yep.
We want to see Trey Lance. Get him out there.
You know, at one point I had a trade offer for Kadarius Toney that would have me receiving George Pickens, and I turned it down.
Ooh, what a fucking idiot!
That's rough.
Yeah,
Wait.
it was but it
At
was,
the time, I'm sure. it
but
was-
at the time,
Dude, no, not at the time. It just ever.
Yeah. Well, at the time, George Pickens was like horrible. He was way
Yeah.
buried on the depth chart, and Kadarius Toney had just got traded to the Chiefs. Whenever this is when Patrick Mahomes was good at football, so that's been a while. But Trey, you didn't have anything to say about that? That's wild. I thought you'd have a comment.
What to
But
say
yeah.
about Patrick Mahomes being good at football?
Yeah.
You want me to say that he's bad?
No, I said that he's bad.
Oh, well, what do
You
you want
just-
me to argue with you about it?
No, just like some type of agreement or something.
I
You
mean,
like Patrick Mahomes, right?
who? Me?
Yeah.
Fuck no.
There it is.
Our organization. But I'm not gonna act like he's not like. So let's be real. Like he's not. In my opinion, he is not playing well. But statistically, he's not. But like, I'd be fucking a retard if I come out of here and was like, Patrick Mahomes is terrible at football. Like this is not. This is not true. Statistically, though, he's not fucking playing good.
Yeah,
I agree.
he's not.
That's all I said before we got
One
started
more thing.
recording.
I was going back through and looking at this, and Tyler wins in 2020, and then 2021 has the most championship hangover ever by going 3-27 to finish in last place.
What happened that year?
Holy
Can I look at
smokes.
my team or something like that? How do I wonder if I can do that.
I think there's a way to do it. somehow.
Oh my gosh.
2021.
What happened?
Well, see, I didn't win very many games because the other team scored.
I hate you.
Wouldn't that be the year that like every single
I
week?
had like 9 people on IR that year.
Yeah, that had to be
Yeah,
the year.
that was when we had the massive IR list, and you had it filled up.
Yeah.
It was horrible. I
Was it
remember-
COVID year?
Yeah, it was COVID year.
Yeah.
So that was
But
when,
mine-
just randomly players weren't able to play just
Yeah.
all of a
But
sudden.
mine weren't because of COVID. Mine were like everybody just blew their knees out and broke their backs.
Broke their backs.
I don't know if I can look at. I want to see if I can look at those years. Let's see, 20. Oh, here. Maybe I can. Oh, I can.
You got to go to
Alright.
previous leagues, I think,
Yeah,
at the bottom.
I went 3-27.
And Trey and Chase both hold the record for most wins in a season with 22.
Oh, didn't fucking win the championship that year though.
Well, no, that was the year that Tyler won the championship in 2020.
And I didn't have a good record that year. I was only 15-11 that year.
Yeah. You just scored 170 points on Trey in the first round of the playoffs. And
So
it
I
beat
can
me
tell
by
you-
8.
I can tell you just looking at
As a
if
Miles
I go
Sanders.
to the week 16 or week 17 matchup for the year that I was like, horrible.
Yeah.
I was starting the likes of Isaiah McKenzie, Boston Scott, and Dre Agumbawale. And if I look down at my IR, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I had 8 people in IR. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. was not a whole lot of fun.
Yeah.
Cam Akers, bring him back.
Hey, he's back in the starting lineup this week
Yeah.
for Trey.
What's really annoying when I look at that is seeing
just
in my
pulled him.
flex, I had Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Oh,
Did you just bench him for for Brian Robinson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a pretty quick recap of our starts and sits. Chase, you want to tell everybody why it's going to be a pretty quick recap?
none of us got one. That's the recap. Even Quentin Johnston, who I thought was going to be a layup for the week,
Yeah.
he scored 10.7, which was 0.7 more than the threshold. So,
Fucker had 2 for 27 yards and a touchdown.
to be fair, Joe Mixon deserved to be a sit because he averaged 1.8 yards per carry with 25 rushing attempts, but touchdown kind of
Is that
saved
my
him.
sit or no?
That was your sit, yeah.
Yeah, he had a touchdown and he had one long reception, didn't he?
Yeah.
It was like
He
two
had-
plays that got him over that. I remember that. Yeah, that's
Yep.
frustrating.
And then Will and I both had Cade Otton as our starts. He got like 11, but
Yeah.
obviously not
Yeah.
enough.
Well, they only
I
threw
like
for
the first
116 yards total, so fuck you going to do?
Yeah,
Catch
It
all
was-
of it. It only
it was
beat him.
a lot of fun. That was a blast.
Yeah, Tyler starts Daniel Jones, and now he's benched.
You know, somebody had to do it. You know, I say every year somebody's got to take one for the team. I just did it in week 10.
to get him on the bench.
All right, so now Tyler mentioned we want to try to mix this up a little with our starts and sits to make it a little more interesting. So I have, let me share my screen here. I put together a sheet of the top 10 players by projection for this week at each position. Are we picking one from each position, or it's just got to be one? Whoever we
Just
pick
one.
again has to. Okay.
Yeah,
So
just-
our sit of the week has to be somebody in this table. Has to be somebody within the top 10 at their position for this week. Just so that way we're not picking somebody that should be a relatively easy sit. And then for our start, it has to be for running back and receiver, it has to be outside the top 20 of projection. And for quarterback and tight end, outside the top 10. Whoever we decide to pick. So
Which means my start probably will not be in that range. But my sit is definitely on this list, and my sit is good old Drake London. He's going to be
All right.
Surtanned, I guess.
Dude, he's been so good this year. Like, I didn't realize it. I looked at his like, I don't know what you want to call it. I looked at his week by week. I did not realize he was having that good of a year.
It's a quiet season, and I think it's because you're starting to see Bijan be Bijan, and then Darnell Mooney is just probably the biggest surprise, the biggest 14th round pick in most people's draft. That's like being their wide receiver 2 for their teams, and I think he's just kind of going under the radar. I don't know how many touchdowns he has.
it's not much.
Wouldn't figure, but I mean, like, he's getting 11 catches in some games and getting over 100 yards as well in those games. So Kirk Cousins definitely has unlocked this offense in terms of fantasy production, but tough matchup, I do
6
believe.
touchdowns for London.
That's pretty solid.
That's still solid. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Number 4 wide receiver.
Yeah. But he's going to be
But
gonna
still,
be
still
stopped.
doesn't pass his bye week. Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
my sit is going to be Chase's best friend Jordan Love for almost the exact same reason
He's
that you're
not-
picking
what?
Drake London. Remember that message you sent me about how much you liked him and how you thought he was going to be like the next Patrick Mahomes?
That's not at all what I said, but cool.
Yeah, you said that. Let me see if I can find that. Dude, I really think this is going to be the week for Jordan Love. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
You're so shit.
I do think. Let me clarify this. I do think that this is probably the last opportunity to say I'm going to sit Jordan Love for the rest of the year because I think after this week, his schedule is just an absolute dream.
I was talking to Will about it yesterday that Jaden Daniels, of course, having a bye week on week 14, our last regular season. I'm gonna have to play Jordan Love, and then honestly, the rest of his schedule is indoors, right? Like I think you get Vikings, you get I feel like Rams may have potentially been in there, and then some other
Detroit.
dome team, Detroit. Yeah, there you go. So I mean, what better
Are you
way
talking
to
about
have it in
Jaden or
December?
Jordan Love? Which one are you talking about?
Jordan Love,
Yeah.
because Jaden has a really tough schedule
That's what I was going to say.
during the
Jaden's
playoffs.
hard. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was telling Will yesterday, I was like, I'm probably gonna have to really consider playing Jordan Love as long as he can stay healthy.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think his wide receiver health is also really high up on that list of if you can start him or how he's going to do because they're not exactly the most sturdy group.
Yeah.
the Green Bay Packers,
I feel like
Yeah,
there's always
they just
somebody
got
hurt.
so many talented players, but no one's developed
Yeah.
into besides maybe Dobbs. Dobbs is somewhat consistent. Obviously, Jaden Reed is the most consistent there, being the Debo Samuel role. But
Is he the
Dundavian
most
Wicks
consistent?
Huh?
Is he the most consistent? I would say Dobbs is probably the most consistent.
When he doesn't get pissy about not getting the ball.
Hey, but those games don't count, so he wasn't there playing them.
Don't.
Hey,
Yeah.
he wasn't there playing them. Jaden Reed is. Yeah, I mean Jaden Reed's been a little bit more up and down, but he's definitely got the higher ceiling.
For sure. He gets
And
the
Wicks is the best one out of the three. He's just catches the ball with his hands closed. I mean, seriously, he is. I think he's probably the best one out of three. He just can't catch the ball.
You know who had that same issue last year?
No, let me look at my team. And
Quentin Johnston.
Right, that's valid.
Brick hands.
And now he's finally seems like he's developing at least somewhat well.
Right. It's the Harbaugh effect. All right, Trey, who you sitting?
Oh, man, so I had a good one picked out before we decided to do this dumb shit.
Well, who was the good
Yeah.
So my good one that was gonna be was gonna be CeeDee Lamb. And
I mean, yeah.
you're
I'm
not
surprised that he wasn't in the top 10 for projected this week. But I guess that's just because of the quarterback.
Cooper Rush, man.
I think it makes sense.
CeeDee Lamb is 11th.
We'll allow CD.
Yeah, I'm.
Oh, we're gonna allow that.
You want to pick?
Allow
Yeah, I'm
that
cool
one?
with
All
that.
right, well then,
Yeah.
cool.
We'll
Yeah,
allow CD.
he hasn't been aside from I think one really good game. I don't think he's been great really all year. I have him in a league, and I'm gonna go look at it real quick.
Let me ask you this, but before you look, where do you think he is right now, overall in the season, wide receiver wise?
4, right?
Fourth?
No, we just talked about Drake London being 4.
Oh.
Yeah. He's not top 10, but he's probably top 15.
So he's number 5.
Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure he's top 5.
He's number 5 wide receiver. I mean, he's 14 points, 19 points, 9, 24, 12, 16, 40, 16, 8.4. So he's not been great. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's not been like this star-studded killer. Like,
What do you mean? Top 5 wide receiver?
no, I know, but I'm saying he's not been like
He hadn't had the 55 bomb.
well, he's
Yes.
not,
Yeah.
40 is his ceiling. I mean, maybe if you could say 40.
His ceiling is right now 8 points with Cooper Rush. Throwing it 25 times and getting 45 yards.
Yeah.
I would
Impressive.
be almost willing to bet you that he gets more than 8 points every game for the rest of the season. I'd be almost
think
ready
so?
to put money. Yeah. Who else are they going to throw the ball to? Jalen Tolbert?
He did get quite a bit.
He got quite a bit at the end of the game, but like,
The Jonathan Mingo.
Oh,
oh yeah, they love Jonathan Mingo.
Yeah.
yeah.
at some point they're going to have to start Trey Lance. They gave up a 4th round pick for him. They've got
Not this week.
Didn't he play last week and he fucking sucked?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Let's
But
define some
he-
parameters on
Yeah.
what it means to suck. Okay.
I didn't watch the game. I just
His whole career.
really.
Dude, he's had good games in his career. You
And
can't
I
deny it.
traded up for that motherfucker last year too in the draft, rookie draft.
He's had good games. Don't knock it.
My rookie drafting has been like the Titans' actual rookie drafting the last several years. It's been awful.
Hey, Hassan Haskins scored a touchdown. You drafted him.
Yeah, against the fucking Titans.
I mean,
God. My sit's gonna be Evan Ingram because
Makes
he's got
sense.
Mac Jones at quarterback. And
Hey,
I almost went with David Njoku as my sit. And my reasoning for David Njoku is because pretty much everybody that I've traded away has not done well after I've traded them.
That's why you're doing so well.
Yeah, right.
I actually think David Njoku could easily be a start.
Oh, he should be. He should be. My start of the week is going to be Kyle Pitts
Okay.
because with Drake
Because I'm the
London
one
getting
that
the
thinks he
attention of Pat Surtain, Kirk Cousins isn't going to, maybe isn't going to be able to throw that way much, so he's going to have to check down to old reliable Kyle Pitts.
I think I remember listening to something they
reliable
were
guy.
saying that they can do really well against Denver just because that's what they leave open. They're like, if you're going to beat us,
Yeah.
you're going to beat us to your dink and dunk to the tight end, but we're going to take away your wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
So makes sense.
Kyle Pitts is the 14th projected tight end this week at 10.1, and it's a green matchup.
you want to hear some
Weird.
of the coolest things you'll ever hear? This is called before and after. So before we have 13, 6, 9, 0, and then after we have 19, 12, 17, 27, 3, and 12. That's before I traded Kyle Pitts, and then after I traded Kyle Pitts.
Oh, I love before and afters.
I hate it. Man, that kills me.
All right, who wants to?
My start. My start is Jared Goff off his 5 interception game that he's.
Wow.
But
Nice.
he's at home and he's like the 15th ranked quarterback.
Yeah,
I
they're
think that's
playing
wild.
Jacksonville.
Yeah,
I think the
Jacksonville's-
thought there is that they're going to get up quick and he's not going to throw the ball.
I think Jameer Gibbs is going to go off for 2 80-yard touchdowns, and then they.
Oh, I hope that he gets 79 yards and goes out at the 1, and then they give it to Montgomery.
I think Montgomery's on his way out, bro.
Chase, is there?
Well,
is there
you say
anybody-
that though.
Is
and
there anybody that you
fucking-
love more than Jameer Gibbs? I mean, of course, Jordan Love's above him, but is there anybody else that you love more than Jameer Gibbs?
I love Bijan. That's why I traded basically my chance to get Jameer Gibbs for Bijan.
You could have had Jameer Gibbs and JSN instead you got Bijan.
No,
that's-
I would not have gotten JSN. I would not have gotten JSN.
you'd
I would have gotten Jordan Addison,
Addison,
unfortunately.
disappointed.
And
Montgomery
Addison,
played
that's pretty good.
56% of the snaps 2 weeks ago and got 17 carries.
I just think Gibbs is looking too damn good right now for you to be doing that 50-50 shit. This is kind of what I was thinking was going to happen later in the season. Exactly what happened last year, where Gibbs was going to take a few more of the snaps. But I mean, that guy was breaking off some big plays. When you got this offensive line and you could potentially break off for a touchdown run from 70 yards out, you got to put the guy that can actually finish the play in there. And, if they do get close, I do see David Montgomery getting a lot of red zone usage, most definitely. But I
But I
think
also
you got to start
think-
using your
I
Gibbs.
get what you're saying, but I also think that they're going to try to save Gibbs for the playoffs, so they're going to split them heavily
And that's probably
until the
true.
end of the season. Yeah. So
I know. I always forget that, fantasy is a byproduct of the actual NFL. And it's just like, why in the
No.
fuck are you not just putting my player in and just having him play every damn play? But I guess there's an actual NFL game that they're playing.
but fuck that. My fantasy team's more important.
Money on this shit, Chad.
Yeah.
Trey, who's your start?
Man, I'm gonna go because I put him in my fucking lineup, even though I don't really feel good about it. Oh, and different in a
Cam
different.
Akers.
No, man, I took him out already. God damn it. Okay. I'm gonna go with Bo Nix. 'Cause,
What the fuck?
Bo Nix is in this column every week.
dude, I need it.
Right? That's
I
like the
had to-
fourth time we picked him.
I think you got a Bo Chubb for him.
Well, I've picked him 3 times.
I picked
Yeah.
him once.
Once is my start.
You
Once is,
sat him last week.
yeah, mistake. Well, I don't know if it's a mistake, but
He scored 15.
He
I mean-
scored. Yeah, he was over our threshold of being a sit, a
Yeah.
bust rather.
Yeah.
But he's got Atlanta this week. It's not a terrible.
Trey's just holding out for him to pop off so he can be like, I was right, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping because
He's been right
so,
already once.
What I
he's
texted
been-
you guys about earlier this week, I've got a league where I can't really drop anybody. Like I have I'll read you guys my fucking team. Bo Nix aside, Drake London, Terry McLaurin, Devontae Chan, Chase Brown, Evan Ingram, Aaron Jones, Brian Thomas Jr., CeeDee Lamb, Tyrone Tracy, Baker Mayfield, Josh Downs, DK Metcalf, Rashad White.
Well, you can drop Josh Downs.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
At this point, you can. I'm a fan of Josh Downs, but if they're going to put Anthony Richardson in
Richardson
there,
back there. Yeah. You ain't wrong.
But there's I feel like there is
an emotional attachment that you have.
Yeah.
yes, there is that. Not what I was gonna say though. I was gonna say because all Anthony Richardson can really do is just throw a fucking nuke way down the
Deep
field.
ball.
Can't really do anything else. There's a chance that he gets a fucking big touchdown play like every game.
But
Yeah.
I don't
You're not
feel
gonna
like that
start
they
him
send
over.
him deep as much as they do Alec
No.
Pierce, and they more so
Yeah.
throw like screen passes to down to the line of
AD
scrimmage and let him-
Mitchell
I- Yeah,
and Alec Pierce are your 2 deep ball threats on that team.
yeah, but right before they benched Pierce,
Joey.
or not fucking Pierce, shit, Richardson. Downs had that game. What did he fucking score? 20-something points in that game? 22 points. One of them, it was against the
the
Texans.
School of the Blind.
Yeah.
Do what?
You
It's
hate
the
him so
school of the
much. It's so funny.
Is this the league where you play a defense where you were asking about? Is this that same league? Who's your defense in that league?
I don't have one.
You should drop Josh Downs and pick up the Buccaneers.
And pick up the bucket. I don't know if they're available.
Well, they're on bye this week, so they might be, but that's what I would pick up.
Why would you pick them up if they're on bye this week?
I got a good playoff schedule.
Because their schedule, the rest of the season, their schedule is
Raiders,
New York.
Giants.
they go New York, Carolina, Las Vegas, the Chargers, Dallas, and then Carolina again.
Yep.
I would drop Josh Downs for the Buccaneers defense.
You got someone else you could drop than Downs. I mean, Downs is definitely proven to be Anthony Richardson's favorite target. So, he can be at least somewhat viable. But, like, Michael Pittman, A.D. Mitchell, Alec Pierce, all of them are now.
So you think Josh Downs is the best receiver when Anthony Richardson is the quarterback?
Yes.
I think Alec Pierce. I don't know. Just this is anecdotal. I guess.
None of them are great. I don't think.
No.
You know what I mean,
Not
almost-
great.
almost-
You don't put them in your flex and you're like, oh, yeah, baby. It's going to be good.
Well, you know that you can have that 1 or 2 receptions for 100 yards and a touchdown.
They
Yeah.
are true boom or bust.
They're the most boom
Yeah.
bust you can get. I
Yeah,
almost
sure.
put Anthony Richardson as my start of the week. I
God.
wanted to.
He just
so
doesn't
bad.
run. You're a running quarterback that doesn't run.
Well, if he got points for running yards that were behind the line of scrimmage, he'd probably be a top 2 quarterback in the league. Because he literally has to run for his life on almost every snap.
Yeah. I always thought the Colts' offensive line was much better than what it has been, but it has been.
They've
Pretty
had
shoddy.
some good pieces, and now it's just Quentin Nelson. Everybody else sucks dick. So
Yummy.
Yeah.
My start's George Pickens, by the way. Russell Wilson's been actually somewhat decent, and I'm kind of
Yeah.
surprised. George Pickens has the catch radius of fucking basketball court. I mean, it's absolutely insane the catches this guy's making. And I always thought, what some of the I just guess gonna
Hey,
tell
hold,
people.
please. We said outside the top 20 for starts. He's 14th.
Oh, you try to pull a quick one on us. All right. All right.
What is Kyle Pitts?
He's a
14th.
tight end. He's a tight end, though.
Quarterback and tight end are outside the top 10. Wide receiver and running back are outside the top 20.
How the fuck am I supposed to know this shit?
You just listen because Will said it, and it's in the text thread as well.
No, how's this? No,
No, how am I supposed to know who's outside top 20?
You
Oh,
use
you'd
your
have to
app.
look it up. I wasn't sure of a good way to put that on there.
You can't. You'd have to put 80 people on there to know who.
All right.
So, like Cortland Sutton, JSN, I don't give a fuck if we can let him go for this week, and then next week we'll fix it. But
no, I got this shit.
Yeah. Sutton, JSN, Hopkins, McConkey,
Gosh damn, to
Reed,
get over 20?
they're outside the top 20. Yeah.
No, to get over 20
Yeah.
points.
Mm-hmm.
Good,
Ladd,
good.
Jaden Reed, Devontae, Tank Dell, Shakir, Cooper, Thomas, Juwan, Ridley, Tillman,
Ridley.
Mooney, Judy.
That's my guy.
good.
Ridley?
Calvin Ridley. That's my dude. I was about to say Cortland Sutton, but I just don't think he's going to be able to ever get 20. He'll get 18 and just piss me off. But
Hey, are you starting him this week?
Gordon Sutton, yes. Yes, I am. And mostly because I don't want to release A.D. Mitchell until I've seen one game with him with Anthony Richardson, especially with his snap count being a little higher, before I put Michael Pittman back into my lineup. Michael Pittman actually may miss, and then I can actually adjust my lineup. But I've been up front. I've benched Brian Thomas. He's hurt still. And obviously having Mac Jones as the quarterback. I learned my lesson putting him in my lineup last week. So yeah, I have
former top 5 draft pick Mac Jones.
Former top 5 Mac Jones, yeah.
Let's just call that so that we know how good he is.
The only problem is Tyreek Hill. Like I don't know if he plays. And then at that point I would have to put in DJ Moore or Jameson Williams, goodness. Which I do think I was actually impressed with his catches during that 5 interception game from Jared Goff. So that made me a little bit happier about Jameson Williams. Is he ever going to be the focal point? No. But he can be, your guy that gets you 8 points is his floor, but he could definitely, pump out a 20-point game after a big bomb somewhere, especially against Jacksonville. So if Tyreek Hill doesn't look like he's suiting up, that's probably who I'm putting in my lineup. And then with Shane Waldron being fired, who are they going to start focusing on getting easy screen passes like DJ Moore did last year with Justin Fields and scores like 3 touchdowns that way? Like if that's the case, then I need to be playing DJ Moore a lot more. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting, but I'm hoping that I can just keep the lineup that I have so I can save A.D. Mitchell. So I was pretty excited with how he looked with Joe Flacco, but obviously Joe Flacco will not be playing anymore.
I noticed.
Thanks.
I noticed.
Notice what?
You'll notice it eventually.
Yeah.
What?
So I was about to tell Chase something about his team. I can't remember.
Sorry, I distracted you.
Yeah, legitimately, you did distract me. I saw it and I thought, what was that?
What are you talking about?
Oh, did y'all talk about the trades? Your Kelsey trade and
Oh, no, we didn't.
Samuel trade.
Yeah, there was a couple more trades made before the deadline on Monday.
Which means there's 15 trades that were completed altogether, I guess. After the Cedric Tillman trade, there's 2 more, correct? So the Travis Kelce and then the Devo.
Yeah, so I traded David Njoku in a second for Travis Kelce, which was also to block Chase from getting Travis Kelce.
I just can't believe he didn't text me back after that. It made sense. There's probably nothing that I was going to be able to offer that he would take. But I was just surprised that he never texted me back because apparently I had the best offer of the three of us. And he was going to take it until you came up with that. And I was just like, well, as a salesman, like Grant probably could be, he would, show the offer, then try to see if he could get a better one. And he just said, no, fuck Chase.
He had me by the balls though, because he said the Njoku in the second after I said something about Njoku, and I was like, "What about a third?" And he said second, or I ship him off to Chase. God damn it!
Damn.
So I was like, "All right, we're doing a second then. Not doing that shit."
He wanted way too much for me to ever get Kelsey off his team. Because I don't think, I mean, and this is just my personal thoughts, but I think that if the Chiefs make a deep run, I think this is his last season.
Oh
I think
yeah,
so too.
100%.
Yeah.
And I'm
It's a
not
honestly,
paying a
I
first
think it's his
for
last
8
season
games.
regardless.
Yeah, and I can't. I had been trying to get. I wanted Kenneth Walker off of him before you had sent him Zach Charbonnet, and I had, in my mind, Laporta for Kenneth Walker is a wash. I think they're because if you look at, don't get me wrong, Laporta's not had a good year, but Laporta has already shown that he can be a top tight end in the league. He's 23, I think, and I mean
Tight
you
ends
just look-
longevity.
look at
much
Travis
longer.
Kelce. He's 35 and still in the league. So you've got a tight end for let's just say 8 years versus Kenneth Walker, who might have 3 or 4 left.
Yeah. See, that's how I always view running backs, but there's so much shortage of running backs, which is what brings up the value of running backs just a little bit. So,
Yeah,
I
he wanted. Let me tell you what my trade was. I said, what would you want for Kenneth Walker and Kelsey? He wanted Laporta and Brees Hall.
Well, if you ain't shooting, you ain't trying,
But there was no like, okay, no, I'm not doing that. There was no, okay, but I'll do this if you'll do that. It was just, that was it.
That was it. Yeah.
And I told him, so I had been texting him before y'all had started texting about Kelsey. And I fell asleep, and he sends me a message, and it's like, hey, Will and Chase are sending me whatever for Kelsey. And he said, if you want to send me your first form, you can have him. And I said, you can go ahead and sell him. I'm not paying that much for Kelsey. Like, go ahead and ship him. And then I woke up the next morning, and there was no trade. So that's why I texted y'all, and I was like, are y'all actually doing that, or is he just trying to strong arm me into making him a trade?
Yeah.
I thought he was just trying to strong arm me. And I was like, I'm not. First off, I don't think that for my team, I don't think that having Travis Kelce is going to put me in a position to win this year. I don't think he's going to make a difference for me. Maybe he would. I don't know, but I don't. At the expense of having literally no draft picks next year, I'm not going to do that.
Like me?
You don't have a single pick?
Well, I have this year I have 2/3 and a fourth, and next year I have my second, third, and fourth, and the year after that I have my second, third, and fourth.
I would literally, if I traded him my first next year, I would literally only be picking in the 4th round.
Isn't that what you did last year? You didn't pick till the 3rd round or something?
No, I had 2
years
late
ago?
seconds. I had 2 late seconds, and then
Maybe
the year
that's what
before
it
that, I
was.
had all my picks. Yeah, I had 2 late seconds, which I mean,
Yeah.
they're kind of that's yeah. There's not much that last year's draft didn't really pull anything out of the second. I think Jaden Daniels was like the best thing to come out there, and then after that it was like nobody.
And then Chase's trade was Zach Charbonnet and Blake Corum for Deebo Samuel and a third.
It's
Yeah, it
Hayden's
started
third,
out. No.
right.
The guy that picks
Or,
Victor, I can't believe you traded.
no,
for him.
it was Grant's third is what I got.
Yeah.
I got his third.
Oh, so you're going to get an early third,
Yeah.
basically. Late
Yeah.
second.
So it started out with, hey, is there any way what did I start the trade at? I think I did I started something, I think AD Mitchell and some tight end on my team. I kind of forget which one at the moment. And I was trying to get Jacoby Myers. And I was just like, just another, good floor piece just in case if Tyreek Hill gets hurt, I can get consistent volume there. And he wanted both handcuffs for Jacoby Myers. And I was just like, I can't do that. Blake Corum, in my eyes, has the potential of being the next Kyron Williams. You've already seen the history of the Rams kind of bringing up and grooming their running backs to be the bell cow. So like that's who I see as more valuable, even though Keep Trade Cut has Zach Charbonnet technically as more valuable than Blake Corum. And I think that's because of his ability to get you points now. So I was trying to do a straight up Zach Charbonnet for Jacoby Myers. He wasn't having that. And of course, we've been trying to be in trade offers 3 other times this year and just basically haven't been able to get anything done. So he was getting upset, and I was just like, you know what, I'd rather just keep my young running backs because running backs are kind of hard to get, and both of them are pretty talented and receiving running backs on top of that. Well, he's still one of them because, he has Kenneth Walker and Kyron Williams. Lock down your running backs for the future, right? So then he brought up Deebo Samuel, and I was like, oh, man. I really like Deebo Samuel for the rest of the year. I am nervous about his future with the 49ers now that they've paid Brandon Ayuk. Juan Jennings is kind of showing up. They've put in a first round for a wide receiver in Ricky Pearsall. George Kittle's going off. Christian McCaffrey's still there. I mean,
and they're going to have to figure out how to pay Brock Purdy in the next 2 years.
So, Deebo's probably on his way out at some point, if I had to imagine. Maybe they don't like Brandon Ayuk and don't like his recovery, and, he's more of a project and they ship him off. That would be best case scenario for Deebo. But I felt like Deebo was a good player for the rest of the season with the potential of being traded off to another team and being used as that jackknife, kind of player, jack of all trades, I guess you'd say.
I also think Deebo's outburst Sunday where he tried to choke the long snapper and shoved him in the kicker probably not bode well for him.
I did not see that.
Yeah, because they missed 3 field goals Sunday.
Yeah, basically he was telling them to get their fucking shit together. From what I heard, he was talking to the kicker, and the long snapper went up there to fucking, I guess, defend the kicker, and he fucking pushed the long snapper.
Long snapper. This is the A and B conversation, so see your way out.
Yeah. There was a thing where he was like, man, I probably shouldn't have gone that, I probably shouldn't have did that, but we got over it. We got past it. That's what he said. So
yeah.
Basically.
Well, I mean, that's how I felt about Atlanta's kicker, who gave me literally -6 points in our no bench league because he kept missing fucking field goals.
Young Wei Koo.
To a win.
I haven't actually looked at the article yet. Because honestly, every time it's popped up on my Facebook feed a couple of times, it pisses me off every time I've seen it. The reason the Bengals went for 2 is because for whatever reason they lacked faith in Evan McPherson to make the kick there at the end of the game to tie it up.
He was so good as a rookie.
Dude, his first 2 years I think he was really good, and now it's just like, what the fuck are you doing? But still, though, man, like I can understand if you were having to kick a fucking 50-yard field goal to win the game, but an extra point, you didn't think you could make the extra point to tie it up and go to overtime?
Right.
No way, bro. That's if that's I haven't read it. If that's true, man, fucking that's crazy.
Yeah, it's someone just trying to cause drama amongst the team, honestly.
Yep.
There's enough already as is.
No, just your defense.
Dude, offense is good, but at times they make fucking decisions where you're like, what are y'all doing?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you doing that? Like the 2 of them, 2 fucking separate games, both of them against the Ravens. The first game, they did 3 fucking runs up the middle at 50 yards out because they were like, well, Jamar Chase had already been torching them. And they just do that shit because they're like, well, Evan McPherson, he'll kick it and he'll fucking make it. And then the long snapper, which of course, he might have made it if the long snapper didn't fucking drop the ball. But and then this one, you throw to fucking Tanner Hudson for the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, I didn't understand that one.
But it's shit like that all the time where it's just like, man, what the fuck? Who's making these decisions?
He thought he'd be open,
Yeah, fucking right. You tell me you'd rather throw the ball to Tanner Hudson than fucking Jamar Chase?
He was triple teamed, bruv.
No, he fucking wasn't. I watched him play. He wasn't. It was 1-on-1.
Oh man.
No way.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, we're going back to Gardner Minshew, the guy we've benched 3 games already. Going back to him as a starter.
Who threw last week?
Gardner Minshew.
Oh,
Well, we were on bye last week, but the week prior it was Gardner Minshew, but we sat him or benched him.
So you lost last week too?
No, we didn't. It was a good day with last week.
well, who y'all benched him? Who did you guys bench him for?
Desmond Ritter.
Oh yeah, that's fucking right. Because he got on there and was crying on fucking during the interview or whatever, happy he got another opportunity or whatever.
I just want him to play just for this fact that I'm just like, maybe he's one of those young quarterbacks that just needed a different system and a different home. Luke Getsy's no longer there. I'm pretty excited about that. How does that look for our passing game in terms of is Brock Bowers still going to see?
It can't look any
major-
worse.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that one. I'm excited to lose the remainder of our games and start talking about quarterbacks. That's my hope.
Is there anything else we need to talk about on here?
I don't think so, brothers.
Not that I'm aware of. Let's get some hits. Oh, let me talk about records first. It's gonna be very easy tallying the records. I'll just put
Guess
two
who's
to
in
loss
last?
column. Let's see here. I am 5 and 13.5. Trey is 8 and 12. Tyler's 8 and 12. And Will is 3 and 17.
Yeah, buddy.
It's just funny.
I need to just start picking people in my lineup to start because that's apparently what's working.
Yeah. Good call.
No, man, I didn't pick anybody in my lineup last week. I don't think. Who did I pick last week? Bo Nix.
Yeah.
Sit.
You to sit. Yeah. And then you had who was your start? Your start was Tyrone Tracy, who was doing well
Yeah,
at
but
the
he
end of the game.
fumbled.
I didn't see that fumble. So why was it solely his fault? Like it was just a bad exchange?
No, they handed it off to him and he ran into the middle of the line and fumbled on the first play of overtime.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, because he did make the cut. I'm pretty sure. I think he was right. Or what did he do last week? Actually, we'll go look.
He scored like 15 points, some odd points. Since
14.
he was your start, he had to get over like 20.
Yeah, he made it.
He definitely could have if he scored a touchdown during the overtime.
Yeah, but instead,
He could have if he just had more points.
Right? Yeah.
He could have scored again. He got it.
He probably would have got you over the threshold there if he wouldn't have fumbled.
yeah,
No,
I could
it
be
was by
not
17 actually.
not an
So-
You
11.
should drop him.
I agree, but
Yeah.
only
Drop
drop
his
him whenever I am ready to pick him up. It's
Yeah,
been
Oh,
the
don't worry,
majority
Chase.
of
You'll
my
get
fame.
outbid.
By $1.
I'm
Good
not.
for you, man. You finally want a player off waivers. Are you happy?
I mean, no, but
You can pick up Laub or whatever his fucking name is. You can pick that guy up.
I tried Dalton Kincaid or tried to trade for him for the longest time this year. I've been trying my
Whose
hardest.
team's he on?
Jed.
Jay Wright,
Oh.
No, he's in Jed.
like I
He's
said,
Jed.
Jed's team.
That's why
And,
you haven't been able to trade for him. You're texting the wrong guy.
No, I texted whoever it was. Either way, whoever it was, because he talked to me and he was like, maybe I have poor faith or bad faith in bad players, but I'm going to stick with Dalton Kincaid. It's like, I understand. And then after his knee injury, I was like, wouldn't it just be funny? I just go ahead and get the starting tight end of the Bills that I've been trying all damn year, and Dalton Kincaid's out for however extended time. Oh, yeah. Looks like we got a question, boys.
Uh-oh.
Traded Garrett Wilson and Cedric Wilson for Jaden Daniels, Devontae Adams, and Marvin Harrison. Did I win or no? Yeah, and I think the
Who's
person you
Cedric
traded
Wilson?
is not smart. Also traded Pollard and T.J. Hawkinson for CD.
I think you lost
yes,
that one
you-
personally. I don't like that one.
Yeah, but I mean,
He said he never
Tony
played
Pollard.
Hawkinson because he's got Kittle.
Oh, okay, then yeah, in a vacuum, straight up.
Kittle
not
may be hurt,
I
though.
think yeah, he did hurt his knee or something.
He'll
I think
play.
Hawkinson's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
Hawkinson's about to be so good.
he played 46% of the snaps last
Had
game, and he
9
got like
targets.
9. Yeah, I mean, my gosh, he was strictly used exactly how he was last year when he basically was, your league winner at the end of the year. Tony Pollard is starting to lose, and Will would probably be the best one to attest to this one because he's the Titans fan. But it seemed like they were giving Tajay Spears a little bit more
Is
of
he
the
still
usage
gonna
now
Pollard
that
got
he's
hurt
healthy.
last week.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that'd be a reason why then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm
he,
saying, I don't know that he's losing it. I feel like this is just how they want to play it. Like a 50-50 split is maybe 60-40 split. But
He only played 54% of the snaps, which he was up between 60 and 70% when Spears was healthy earlier in the year. They didn't want him playing the 89 to 86% of the snaps he was playing the last couple weeks. But he also got hurt and was out for probably a whole quarter's worth in the game Sunday. So.
Jason, to answer your question on the first one, I think you won it. However, Jaden Daniels, we were talking about this earlier, his playoff schedule is rough. So if you had to make it in order to get a quarterback to get you to the playoffs, I feel like Jaden Daniels is definitely okay to play. But his last like 4 weeks for fantasy playoffs it's pretty rough. So if you have someone like even like Bo Nix with some of his plays at the end of the stretch, like if there's a good matchup with a player who's been having some good weeks here and there, you have to strongly consider playing somebody else during Jaden Daniels' rough weeks. But like Devontae Adams is getting the targets. He's obviously Aaron Rodgers' favorite player, but he's just not getting high quality or high yardage plays like Garrett Wilson is. And then Marvin Harrison finally looks like he's getting on the same page with Kyler Murray, now having the most receiving touchdowns of all rookie wide receivers at this moment. So he's starting to pick it up. And then having CD,
I need to give Kyler Murray some props too, because I said that he was going to be shitty after Call of Duty came out, and he's been 3-0. So he's changing the narrative.
I know he gave
you
up
could
Xbox.
you could put Kyler Baker, Jordan Love, I'd say Bo Nix, and maybe Russell Wilson on a short list of players that I think will be on a lot of championship rosters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because their schedules are just nothing.
Much better.
Yep.
Yeah. Domes at the end of the year helps quarterbacks, that's for sure.
Yep.
Now, this is probably my least favorite part of fantasy football season, just because I'm actually having to look up weather at games now, and it's annoying. It's just like I don't even like looking at weather in my own damn town before I go drive for home health. I'm having to look up fucking Baltimore weather, Green Bay's weather during play, and I'm just like, oh, this is annoying.
Yep.
I follow a group of guys who do a weather report, so it's not really hard. they just
Send it
throw
my
down.
way.
It's like worse weather's at the top, and then it gets better as it goes down.
Oh, that's nice. Wow. What do they do
we
with
need
the
to add
dome?
that to the end of the podcast where we look at the weather for each game coming up?
Get the weather
No,
man in here.
I don't want anyone else to know. Of course, Jason's the only one that would know, so that's fine.
All right, fellas.
All right, bitches.
Yep.
We'll
Thanks
see
for
y'all-
watching, shitheads.
See
See you next
defending
week.
champ.
Thanks. I'm getting on Xbox.